slide off.
Pretty face, nice waist, can't keep my eyes off. Wonder what I lied for, I could've tried more.
Now them times gone cause
she's walking out of my door.
What's up, Mearabloggers? This is Paul Meara once again. I know it's been a while since we've been back on the Mearablog Podcast, but I'm big and back with Ether. I got DV, Alias Khryst, with me on the Mearablog Podcast. DV, what's up?
What's up, brother? How you doing, Paul?
Good, good. Now, my first question is typically what I ask other MCs that come on my podcast. What's been going on with you personally, not necessarily musically, just like personally, what's been going on in your life?
I mean, well, you know, I'm a father of three, and you know, have a wonderful home front and a great family support system. And, you know, just really just trying to make sure that I establish, you know, my personal life from a foundational standpoint. Because, you know, without having that foundation, relatively, you'll put yourself in the midst of chaos once entering this business.
Now, I understand that you're starting up a college tour, and you're releasing an EP every month up until that the official album that's entitled Ming. Now, tell me first about the you're a busy man, obviously, as I can see.
Yeah,
now,
very busy.
Yeah. Now, tell me about the college tour, where you're going, what's going on, and also about all these EPs that you've been dropping.
Well, the college tour is being routed now. We're looking to do the college tour now effectively in September, which would make sense.
Yeah, right.
That everybody will be going back to school, so we can really hit everybody fresh. And we're getting the college tour routed now, so I don't have the effective actual colleges that we're going to be doing as of yet, but we'll have all of that. You know, you'll hear about that via my publicist Kenyatta, or just posters on Twitter or Facebook, because we try to keep everybody in the loop from a social standpoint. And as far as the main project, the EPs that I'm releasing are a part of a series, and the acronym for Ming is Money Is Not God. And the first EP that we're set to release, that we released already, actually, that's on the site as a free download, and also we have the Money Project on iTunes, as you know, where you can purchase it, and the proceeds of from the purchases of the Money Project, we're going to donate that money to the Japanese flood relief.
Right, so, exactly.
So, you know, that's one EP, and then we have the Is EP, meaning internal self, internal Satan, you know, just dealing with the battles of purgatory and just, you know, trying to persevere to do the right things. Conceptually, the artwork embodies the concepts more than the music, because I didn't really want the music to be too theatrical in playing with the actual artwork cover, so that way, you know, we don't drown people out or over message people, you know.
Right.
And the third project is entitled Not. And then after Not, then of course the last EP is going to be entitled God. So, you know, we were breaking them all up to pretty much give you the experience sonically, musically, lyrically of what's to expect for the Ming project that, you know, we'll be releasing, you know, within the latter part of this year. Now,
also, I just want to tell viewers, or listeners, I don't know how I keep saying that while DV may not be a name that's always heard in hip-hop, the work that he's been in, obviously there's been some names in hip-hop. Obviously, your biggest connection is probably with, you know, Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler. And you also have done things with definitely some of my favorite artists of all time, you know, Mobb Deep, Helter Skelter, Onyx, Shaheem, Rugged Child. So, you know, and you've also been compared to maybe the Nate Dogg of New York. Tell me what it's been like going back to those days of working with those East Coast legends. Just tell me about your experiences with them, and what your favorite collaboration with some of these artists has been.
I would say my favorite collaboration, of course, would definitely be, you know, what's close to home. Like working with Smooth and Trig is always a blast because we know each other. We've known each other for years. You know, so with knowing each other for so long, you know, there's a certain sensibility, you know, that's there, and a sense of comfortability that's there that allows you to create a lot easier than it would be to create with people that you relatively don't know. Right. As far as like working with all of the other artists that you named, it was surreal for me because I was relatively young. I'm 34 now, just turned 34. And, you know, when I first came into the game, I was 15, 16 years old. And, you know, it was just different for me. It was really, really different to record songs with Shaheem. And these are artists who are relatively at the peak of their game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not just talking about you know, recording somebody with them now. We're talking about when this is the mid-'90s, when those artists were at their peak and that kind of music was at its peak too. So, anyway, go on.
So it's like, you know, in recording those songs, it was definitely it was surreal for me because, you know, I've always been an Onyx fan. I've always been a fan of Shaheem's work and Sadat X and, you know, just a lot of the heavyweights that I did do records with in the mid-'90s. And it definitely was a blessing. I think next to Smooth and Trig, my most favorite collaboration would have been working with De La Soul. That was the first hip-hop tape I've ever purchased in my life. So it was very... It was eerie to know that was the first hip hop tape I ever bought in my life, to then be working with De La and touring with De La Soul. It's really, really strange, you know, and strange in a positive way, and especially in a spiritual way. So, you know, I feel extremely blessed for the opportunities that have been presented to me. You know, especially the way hip hop has been going on its incline and decline, you know. And I've also had the opportunity of working with current heavyweight players like 50 Cent, and I did some work with Uncle Murder, some work with Mano. You know, I've done some work with Uncle Murder, Bun B, and Mano, and Busta Rhymes. You know, Lord Have Mercy. You know, I've done a range. You know, I've done a wide range of music, and in all of the music that I've, you know, participated on, I can definitely say that I liked everything that I did. Man, or the artists that I worked with, it never really was a situation where I had to compromise myself too much. It only happened when I was signed to Def Jam. At that point, I realized that I had to start to compromise myself, you know, for them to initially be able to market and promote me as an artist. But I didn't understand that at 18, 17 years old, you know?
Absolutely.
All I cared about was doing some good music and getting out there and performing it. You know, you go through the trials and the tribulations to get to this point now and be sharp enough to understand, you know, the protocol that comes with being in this business.
Now, I want to go over, I'm going to also go back to, it was about, 1996. Where I know you most from is from Once Upon a Time in America, Smooth the Hustler's official release, you know, album. And it's all kind of like you all knew each other from, I understand, like junior high school. So you all kind of blew up together. And, you know, got thrown into the spotlight, you know, being from Brownsville, just thrown into the spotlight right away. Tell me what it was like, what Once Upon a Time in America was like. It's definitely one of my favorite albums of all time. Just tell me about, you know, that experience of working with them and what you guys went through to, you know, to the big stage.
I mean, it definitely would have seemed like we were thrown into the spotlight, but we were always relatively popular kids in the hood.
Yeah.
You know, because we used to dance. We were very heavy in the dance culture, in the urban dance culture.
Right.
And then me and Trigger went to junior high school, and we took modern dance and ballet. You know, I mean, me and Trig went into ballet for other reasons, because that was an opportunity to be around some women. but you know, for every cause there's an effect. So in doing that, you know, we had a dance teacher by the name of Miss Baker who did a lot of the choreography for the ballet class, but she incorporated urban dance in her classes too. So it was a great opportunity, even though we went in with a different agenda.
Right. We
came out with knowledge of how to balance ourselves and how to be, you know, professional dancers. You know, and we gained the level of flexibility and all of the things that came with being a dancer in the 90s. You know, anybody that know about dancers in the 90s, like Fendi, Robot, you know, like a lot of different, you know, FBI, there was a lot of dope dancing crews.
Right.
And you had to have certain special abilities to be a dope dancer. You know, like you could pull your leg over your damn head and jump over it. You know, these were the things that made you special as a dancer. So we was able to achieve that by, you know, being mentored by Miss Baker, which was a dance teacher that we had in junior high school. And from that, I learned how to perform on stage, because I was very shy as a kid. And due to her, she allowed me to break out of that shyness by focusing on the most simplest shit in the world. And she told me to look at the clock. It was a clock on the top of the wall, all the way at the back of the auditorium. So anytime you're on stage, focus on the clock. Don't focus on nobody else.
Right.
And funny enough, focusing on that clock allowed me to, after I was done with the performance, all I heard was screaming people. You know, so that was the bug. So then that leading in to, you know, getting up with Smooth and everything just coming together, you know, for the Once Upon a Time in America project, it was amazing, because we broke day and night in the studio putting that project together.
Right, absolutely.
Like, everybody contributed to Smooth's project. We knew that, you know, Smooth was the ham, you know, hard as a motherfucker. Like, we knew that. Like, and we knew that once people heard what Smooth was about, it was going to take off. So we put every piece of resource that we could have put into that project at that particular point in time. And it actually worked. You know, there was the birth of the rap singing style, and you know, I would say from a major label standpoint, and being able to get put out there to the masses, because I was doing that style. Like, people in the hood, so to speak, of Brooklyn, and like just knew me from high school, knew I was doing that since high school. Right. You know, so I always knew how to sing, and I always knew how to rap. From Smooth teaching me and Trigger how to put our verses together, he pretty much mentored us as rappers, because me and Trigmon was more on dancing than it was rapping. Right. But we didn't want to get left out the loop.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
you want to get in there no matter what.
Yeah, we picked up the pen and follow suit. So it was a very dope experience. Like, I came up with the Murder Fest chorus
right.
in my social studies class in high school.